In today's landscape, it is rare to see a team, a player, and a franchise all win at the same time. Obviously, when you look at some of the deals with the quarterbacks in the NFL right now, you look at Dak Prescott's deal, and the more and more as deals continue to progress, you start to see Dak really took advantage of the Dallas Cowboys and put them in a really tough spot to continue to build for the future. And that brings us to Brock Purdy's contract and how, again, this is a rare triple dub, a win for Brock, a win for the 49ers, and a win for fans. Let me explain. So, I have taken some time, I have gotten into the details of the contract a bit, and I will share with you with what I have found and why I believe this is true. Obviously, Brock Purdy is 25 years old. This is effectively a 6-year deal because it includes this final year in 2025, and then it's tacked on a 5-year deal. The 2025 salary cap charge, $9.1 million. That is only 2.68% of the cap space in 2025. The cash payout in 2025 is effectively 41 million. That, from my understanding, is a signing bonus. The overall contract value is $265 million, which is a 53 million APY. But if you take into account this 2025 year, which makes it like a 6-year deal, his APY is actually 45 million per year because it is like a 6-year deal. He also is able to acquire 100 million in fully guaranteed dollars. And from a contract ranking standpoint, this has his the eighth highest value at quarterback in the NFL. So there are a lot of things to love about this, but again, the main point is that Brock was able to secure generational wealth. He was also given the keys to the franchise. He is like, we knew he was the franchise quarterback, but he wasn't going to be the franchise quarterback until he signed on the dotted line. And so that has become official. He is their guy. Mac Jones, appreciate you, pal. You are not going to be playing over Brock Purdy unless there's an injury or something like that. So Brock Purdy does not have to worry about any of that. No more looking over his shoulder, no more calls to Tom Brady to see if he'll come out of retirement. None of that. Brock is the guy, and it has been proven with his contract. So he gets paid, he gets the money that he's deserving of. But he also did it in a way that allowed the San Francisco 49ers to win. The 49ers win because they have options here. And when you look at the cap and how the cap has been configured, basically over the next 3 seasons, the San Francisco 49ers can continue to add pieces. They can continue to add free agents if they wish and sign their own guys, which is great for 49ers fans. So this is how all three elements win. And honestly, it seems so rare. And I think Josh Allen, I think the precedent that he set by not taking every imaginable dollar that he could, I think that also helped with Brock Purdy. And Purdy said that. He said he wasn't looking to take every single penny that he could. He wanted to make sure that this team could continue to win with his current cap space. And that's basically what I am outlining right here is that all three phases of Brock Purdy, the 49ers, and 49er fans all win with this deal. And I'm really, really excited about it, especially after like learning a little bit more about the terms of the deal. You can see here how it's slotted and how the years break out. You can see right here in the first year, Brock Purdy's making about 35 million. And you can see how that slots with Tua, with Herbert, guys like Jordan Love, um, and Trevor Lawrence. So you can see he's on the lower end of year zero. And then from there, he jumps up to 82 in total value. And you can see how that slots with these other guys. And then you bounce to year 3 in 110 and how it compares to everyone else on this list. You can see like he got more than Hurts, but over a 3-year period, Goff gets more, Herbert gets more, Tua gets more, Love gets more, and he's slotted right in here at 110. And then this is where the increases start to occur, and then you see it level out with these other guys. So it's a very interesting way that this deal has gotten done, but I do think it continues to showcase the flexibility involved with the 49ers ability to still be ultra competitive with his contract. And again, you see the cap figures from, very manageable until 2028, where it jumps up to 57, then 72, 64, and 11. But this is where effectively, from my understanding, after 2027, there's going to be an opportunity for the 49ers to make a decision. Do they want to continue going with Brock Purdy, or do they want to find something else or go in a different direction? And in that event, they have, I think, options to get out, but they also could renegotiate. So I'm going to read some of these contract notes that I think will give a little bit better detail than what I can just explain. So in these notes, it says Brock Purdy signed a 5-year, $265 million contract with the 49ers on May 20th, 2025. 182 million effectively, approximately, is guaranteed, of which 100 million is fully guaranteed at signing. The new money guarantee is 177.2 million. Purdy received a $40 million signing bonus, and his 2025 salary is fully guaranteed. In 2026, Purdy's entire compensation, including a $37.75 million option bonus, is fully guaranteed. 11.9 million of his 2027 salary is fully guaranteed at signing. If on the roster on April 1st of 2026, the rest of his 2027 salary, including a $15 million option, will be guaranteed. On April 1st of 2027, Purdy's $55.05 million salary in 2028 is fully guaranteed. On April 1st of 2028, Purdy will earn a $7.154 million guarantee on his 2029 salary. And on April 1st of 2029, another $5 million will be fully guaranteed. So what you're seeing here is basically through 2026, he's locked up. He's guaranteed for the most part. It's when you start getting into the rest of it, if he's on the roster by April 1st, here's a trigger. If he's there, his 2027 contract is fully guaranteed. If on April 1st of 2027, he makes it through, his 2028 season is fully guaranteed. So you can see these are triggers now. These are individual year by year triggers. And then the 49ers at these particular moments, from my understanding, will also give them the flexibility to renegotiate a new deal if they wanted to be able to get these cap figures again dropped down and pushed out. So it's a very fascinating deal that I think again works for both parties. It continues to say the contract contains an annual per game bonus and workout bonuses. The extension increased Purdy's 2025 salary cap number by 3.774 million. Initial contracts come from Mike Florio. Assuming the contract plays out as intended and all trades are off the table, you would be looking at a dead number of 55.274 million in 2029, of which $7.154 million would be subject to offsets. That would be a reasonable figure for the 49ers if things went south with Purdy. This feels like a contract where they are comfortable with the low enough cap figures in 2025 through 2027, and will then make the decision in 2028 about having his cap number spike and potentially exiting the contract, or doubling down on the contract through restructuring and then maximizing the time they have to work out an extension in 2029 and 2030. So again, a win-win. Brock is pretty much, from my understanding, locked up through 2026 through 2027, and then they will have to make a decision in around 2028 about how to maneuver the spike in his cap, and then decide, do we stay in the Brock Purdy business by extending him, or do we get out? So they have that option. And I think that's a good option to have, because as we've all seen, things change rapidly in the NFL, and it's good to have those options. So again, I think it's a win-win for both. It gives Brock Purdy some pretty solid stability over the next 3 seasons, and then they have the opportunity to renegotiate after that. Brock, back to Purdy and SF. I think the 49ers are probably happy with this contract. I think tying it into the $55 million market and getting the 5th year without any added guarantees or early cash flow concessions is a win for them, as getting a deal done with no drama. It is certainly a solid contract for Purdy, but all told, I thought SF would have had to pay a bit more. This feels much more like the way the 49ers looked at Colin Kaepernick years ago than the way they looked at Jimmy Garoppolo when they made him the highest paid player in the NFL after a few games, or the way they threw away years of draft picks to randomly select the third best prospect in the draft, which would end up being Trey Lance. In any case, this is a monster year for the 49ers. They have invested a lot of money this year and have a lot of roster space occupied by third plus year contract players. This is a risky way to build in the NFL. They need Purdy to continue his growth to get to the level where more people think he is capable of carrying a football team. Fairly or unfairly, he is going to get blamed if they don't win, even if it is because of the injury bug hits the 49ers older players, or players just look a step slower. This is definitely one of the teams I am most interested in watching this year, because of all of the expectations that they should have on them. So uh, I hope that does a good job of kind of summarizing the deal. I, by no stretch of the imagination, am a contract expert. I have spent a lot of time covering contract negotiations with the San Francisco 49ers of late. So I've tried my best to learn as much as I can about these situations. And so again, my analysis of, reading over the details, kind of diving into it and getting a full understanding of it, is that this is a win for everyone involved. It's a situation where the 49ers are not, tied with one hand behind their back because they had to pay Brock Purdy an exorbitant amount of money. Brock still gets taken care of financially, is given a lot of security within the deal through the first 3 years, no trade clause, things of that nature. And there's the ability for this thing to continue rolling for years to come after that first kind of initial chunk. It's just basically, how do they figure out and maneuver the large cap hits? So other than that, man, like, I feel really happy. And if you've watched me, or you have watch my film breakdowns of Brock Purdy over the year, I'm a believer in Brock. You know that I think Brock is a talented quarterback. You know that I think he is capable of getting the job done. He's a guy that I think can lead the 49ers to win a Super Bowl. So for me, I'm very pleased by this. And as the details have came out, I'm even more happy about it, to see that all sides are covered in this. 49ers are covered. Brock is covered. The fan base is covered. The 49ers will continue to be able to spend, to be able to pour into their roster while not having to worry about the quarterback position anymore. And Brock's paid. Brock is the guy. Brock, there's no questions. There's no and I think that in of itself is so valuable that I just don't think people truly recognize, because we don't always look at players from the human lens. And I think the human lens is that Brock has been operating in good faith that he is a franchise quarterback. But I think it's not official until you sign on the dotted line, right? So I think that's huge for him. I think that confidence for a 25-year-old to be finally told that you're our guy, and here's a contract that actually proves what we're saying to you, and oh, here's 100 million guaranteed. So I think this is a great situation. I really do. I think it's a win-win-win. And if you're a 49er fan, man, you couldn't have. I don't think you could have asked for anything better than that. Um, so I'm I'm hyped on it. I think that this is a good situation for the San Francisco 49ers and Brock, and for the fans. I'm really curious to know what you guys think about this now that you've had some time to kind of dive into the details, kind of take a step back. I know a lot of people were kind of split down the middle on paying Brock. So I'm very curious to see how everyone feels now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe.